greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. So a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'm a raincoat with the blessing.
How's it going, everybody? Meathead Moto back with you for another video to pump up your day with some motorcycle content. Apparently 57 is still a little cold for my hands in my thrash and supply gloves, so it's a good thing I got my winter gloves. As I was saying, it's a nice 57 degrees today, but my thrash and supply gloves are just a little thin for riding at highway speeds, so we got my thick old winter gloves while I'm wearing a hoodie on this ride, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna go for a quick little ride. So is he. He's out for a ride today too. Let's just hope that this lady here is not going to go the same way that I want to go. Otherwise, we might be in for a slow cruise instead. The premium over here is actually 20 cents a gallon cheaper. I should just come over here. And these times 20 cents a gallon is 20 cents a gallon to save. Might as well make it worthwhile, right? So today I actually did want to talk about a topic. I know, first time in a while that I've had a topic that I want to talk about. Today I want to talk about YouTube. You know, I got a fairly decent following here now on the YouTube, on the internet, both on here and Instagram, and you know, I've seen it come up more recently with some of the people that I follow that they've been inclined to start a YouTube channel, and you know, I'm surprised that they hadn't, you know, that they hadn't considered one before, because some of them have quite a much larger following on Instagram, especially with their reels and stuff, that, you know, they have 20,000 something followers, and it's like, you didn't consider starting a YouTube channel sooner? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I can understand why. So this is kind of going to be my guide for you starting a YouTube channel. And I know this has been talked about many times before by much larger channels, but I want to get it out there now while my channel is still pretty small in the grand scheme of things, because it's kind of hard from you being a person that maybe has 0 subs or maybe a sub or 2, like how it's hard to hear from somebody that has 100,000, 200,000, maybe even 1 million subscribers that, oh yeah, you just got to start, you just got to do it, you got to start just doing it, you know? Like, yeah, easy for you to say you got 6 million subscribers, you got 600,000 subs, you know. It's pretty easy for somebody that has a lot of subscribers to say that you just got to do it, but here I want to get it out now while I have close to 1,000 subs, that like, hey, you can do this. Here's what my tips for starting. My first tip, my first little thing that I want you all to be aware of when it comes to starting a YouTube channel. You know, if you want to do moto vlogging specifically, the thing is you don't have to spend gobs and gobs amount of money on a good camera. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that are still running like GoPro Hero 4s for their moto vlogging channels. You don't have to have the nicest helmet for the setup. You don't have to buy the nicest microphone for inside your helmet. You just gotta get what works. You know, look up what works, find some stuff that the internet might say are good, cheap action cameras that, you know, me personally, I'm running a GoPro Hero 7 Black. You know, if you can find a good GoPro Hero 4, do it. Especially if it's cheap. If it's a couple $100, you might as well. It shoots in 1080-60, I believe, so I mean, it's good quality. That's what I shoot in, is 1080-60. So there's a good start. You know, don't worry about spending huge amounts of money on getting like Adobe Premiere Pro or, you know, any other major video editing software. There's tons of good free video editors out there. You know, for when I started the channel, was using Windows Movie Maker, and I mean, it was not great, but then I went and researched and found what is Shotcut. It's not Shortcut, it's Shotcut. I was using that for a long time. Nice free video editor, has a lot of updates, constantly getting updates, I should say. So, like, that was what I was using for a long period of time, and that was free. Download it from the internet, put it on with the right operating system that you're using, boom, there you go. So therefore you can spend more money on the maybe on the camera, or maybe just spend some time learning how to edit videos from the internet. YouTube has got a great amount of resources for learning how to edit videos, or maybe you just want to dip your feet in and try it yourself. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I just dipped my feet in and started, you know, just trying. My next tip and my next like guidance point here would be, don't be afraid to upload. You know, make videos that obviously you want to make, but don't be afraid to post it. Don't be afraid to leave a video up. You know, you might get updates, you might check in on your video every so often and find out that it's maybe only got 100 views, or maybe it's only got 10 views and it's been up for a couple of days. Don't take it down. Don't be upset. Don't call yourself a failure. Things are slow. There's so much about YouTube and its algorithm for pushing videos that it's oftentimes it can be really discouraging to see that a video of yours only has like 5 views, 10 views, or maybe even no views after a week. Like it's really disheartening. And that was me. You know, I had like, I want to say I had maybe 5 subs for the longest time, where I had like at least 5 or 6 videos up, where I only had 5 subscribers to my channel, and I really didn't get a lot of views right away. With time, you'll get better at editing, and you'll get better at honing what you want to talk about, and honestly your personality comes out more the more you make videos, the more you get used to listening to yourself while you're editing the videos and all that, that you'll be a little bit more of yourself rather than this like figure, I guess, on the internet. And to deal with like the algorithm thing, if you're doing motovlogging, it really can come down to the bike that you ride that gets views, honestly. You know, if you ride a bike that's not very popular, say like a road glide, you're going to be talking about a very niche market of YouTube that want to watch videos on road glides. Whereas if you had, like, say, a Sportster, Sportster 883, a Dyna, a Lowrider S Softail, you know, whatever, or even like a sport bike, a CBR 600, an R1, an R6, any of those kind of bikes, they're going to probably get more traffic, especially since YouTube is generally a younger audience that watches it. And touring bikes specifically are in definitely a different tax bracket of people that generally ride these things. So you're going to have a very older demographic that wants to watch road glide content. Well, that demographic is actually a very small part of YouTube, so, you know, in the end it can slow your growth. And back on like the don't delete videos thing, like I personally have deleted a few videos that I wish I hadn't. Like I said, I regret it. I really shouldn't have deleted them because they weren't bad videos. It's just that at the time I wasn't getting like the views that I was hoping for, so I was just like, it's just a shit video, delete it. And as I've come along now, I've found that a number of my videos that I've released a year ago, 2 years ago, or even like some of my very first ones, they've picked up views now because of the fact that they're just kind of slow burners. There are some videos that you'll post up that they might get a couple hundred views in like 24 hours, or you know, you might have a video that gets a couple hundred views in a couple weeks. But you know, maybe 6 months from now, that video that really blew up at first is still only at 300, 400 views, whereas that video that only had a couple hundred views after a week now has 1,000 or 2,000, because as time goes on, people are searching for that topic, or you know, all kinds of different factors that maybe it got pushed better. Maybe there's more likes on that older video that, you know, it grew. The algorithm is so weird at times, and it can be very discouraging, especially for a small-time creator that's doing it as a hobby. But you don't want to delete videos, even if you think that they're not going to do well, or maybe you think that it wasn't that well edited. Don't delete it. You know, don't look back. Don't go 6 months back and look at a video that was like, oh, you were still learning how to edit and all that, and be like, no, I don't like this video anymore. I don't like this video anymore. I'm going to delete it and pretend it never existed because I've grown past it. Like, no, that's all about your growth. And a lot of people that stick to your channel then can go back and look at those videos and be like, wow, you really did get better. I do feel like your personality came out more. Your editing style got more honed in, you know, that kind of stuff. And I know this is another really key thing that ties in with like the views and everything, is don't focus so much on the numbers. Numbers come with time. I've had to do it myself. I've had to remind myself that subscribers take time. It takes time to build your audience and to grow into people, or people to grow into you, and you to grow into your persona on YouTube. So don't focus on the numbers, because you know what, in 5 years you might be like looking back and be like, wow, I can't believe that this started from nothing. And that's, you know, that's how I felt, you know, as I've been continuing to grow on this platform. I continue to look back and think about the times when I had only like 3 subscribers, and the videos that I posted, and they got like 10 views in 24 hours, and I was like, hey, you know what, I got 10 views, I guess. And now I have videos that get 250 views in 24 hours, and in fucking 5 years maybe from now, or 2 years from now, or even a year from now, I might be looking back and be like, I remember when those times when I was getting 200 views a video in 24 hours, and now I'm at 1,000 in 24 hours, you know, whatever. It's like perspective always changes things, but focusing on the numbers where you're at when you're starting, and every month or every fucking 6 months or something, and trying to compare it, you'll realize that you are slowly growing. But don't nitpick yourself because of the numbers. The numbers don't always reflect your attitude towards this editing, and doesn't always reflect how you're doing. But obviously, I think the biggest thing is be willing to take criticism, but don't accept hate. And oftentimes it's hard to understand what is criticism and what is hate. Honestly, on YouTube, hate is pretty easy to figure out. Hate usually has no substance behind what they're saying. They just don't like the fact that you're doing something that they're not doing, I guess, you know, or that you're doing something with your machine, like your bike, that they don't particularly like, so they gotta let you know that they don't like it, as if their opinion matters. You know, there's always there's a difference between criticism, where you learn from how people either watch your videos or what they leave in the comments, that like, you know, I really don't like that music that you were using, or well, I could do without the music, or I could do without this, you know, stuff like that. You can learn from that and either take it as a criticism and grow and maybe adjust how you do your videos and your editing, or you can be like, no, personally I liked it, so I'm sorry that you didn't. Maybe see if the next one it works better, you know? When you get straight up hate comments where people just are being a dick for the sake of being a dick, you know, don't take that with too much grain of salt. Don't don't even retort back. It's something I have to learn. I have yet to learn. It doesn't do you well to let them live rent-free in your head with a nasty comment that they only took 2 seconds to try and like write up, and they meant it just to like cause you to have a reaction. They didn't really mean it. Most likely they didn't mean it. They're just doing it for the sake of pissing you off, and you give them the satisfaction of pissing them off or getting pissed off by their comment. So minor things are like upload schedule and stuff. Like personally, I found that the time that works best with my videos is Sunday afternoon, and I think it's because like you kind of can pick up, if you have a favorite motovlogger or motorcycle YouTube channel that posts at certain times, it kind of helps to tailor uploading around the same time or maybe a couple hours later as them, because you can piggyback off of their viewers as well, because you're producing motorcycle content as well, so your videos might be more likely to be suggested then when you know that there's somebody else that's uploading motorcycle content on YouTube around the same time that you want to. So that's something like I said, with Sunday, Shade Tree Surgeon, Shay Lisi, and a bunch of those guys of the Brapstar crew upload on Sunday. I just go Sunday afternoon. That's well kind of past when they upload, but it's still on Sunday, so people are already, if they're watching Shade Tree, they're already in the motorcycle mindset. And then they get to the afternoon, it's like, oh, I guess we're done with motorcycles. And then they might, if they're subscribed to me, then all of a sudden, boom, here I come in and I'm like, no, you're not. Guess what? I got another thing to pump up your day with some motorcycle content. So, but as far as like 2 uploads a week, 3 uploads a week, whatever, do what works for you. Don't like try and stick to like a twice a week upload if you can't do it. I personally have found that my once a week upload works the best for me, because then I can really dedicate myself to one video a week and really hone in what I want in that video, distill it down to what my point is or what I'm doing, so that way it's enjoyable to watch for not only myself when I'm editing it, but also to the viewer, to you on the end that's going to watch it. But those are just my thoughts, guys. I mean, if you are considering starting a motovlog channel, like, just do it. Don't sit and like him and haw about it and think that you need to have all this fancy equipment, this fancy editor, this fancy bike to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to start making stuff and putting it up there and trimming out the fat, especially when you're editing. But don't worry about fancy transitions and fancy subtitles and captions and shit like that. Just start somewhere and hone in your craft. Hone in what you like to do on a bike and record videos that you would want to watch and do things that you want to do on a bike. And don't really focus on it being this instant success, because it may never be. And if you expect an instant success on YouTube and you don't get it, well, then you're going to be really discouraged and you just stop. Quitting is definitely not the way to success. Those are my thoughts, guys. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully you like and subscribe it if you do like it and you do like this kind of content. I hope you stick around. But until next time, guys, I will see you in another video. Hit your maxes and evade your taxes. Reaching for that 7th gear.